warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. Please answer my salam. Okay, thank you. So before I ask you some questions about this video, how are you guys doing? Are you guys alright? How is everything? Okay, good to know. Okay, so what do you guys think about this video? Do you agree with the students and the teacher that Ranjit's first presentation was bad? Do you agree?
Yes.
Why do you think so? Yes. Just speak louder. Why do you think that his first presentation is a bad one?
Because the first one, no eye contact with the audience.
Yes, good. Okay. Any more response? Any more answers? Okay. So as you can see from his first presentation, which is about the American Revolution, as mentioned by his teacher, it is a bad presentation because he does not have eye contact with the audience, he is reading through the script, and he clearly does not have an audience engagement with the students. Okay. And how about the second presentation? Is it better?
Yes.
Why do you think so? Yes? Yes? Okay, good. And then?
He looks more relaxed.
Yes. Okay. And as we can see from the video, the second presentation was even better because he was not reading from the text. He smiles, he seems more relaxed and more confident, and he insists his personal experience in his presentation to connect more with the audience. So, okay. Do you guys have any questions about how to differentiate between a good and a bad presentation? Or are you guys clear about it? Yes. Okay. So since you guys are clear about the distinctions and the differences between a good and a bad presentation, let us move on to know about some presentation skills that we need in order to give a good presentation.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Zubaida and my friend's name is Ika. So today we will be presenting or telling you how to have a good presentation. So today we will be presenting about presentation skills. So this presentation is divided into 3 parts. That is before presentation, during presentation, and also after presentation. So before having a presentation, firstly you must create the slides, right? In order to guide you and aid you in giving presentation so that your audience have more visual and understand more about what you're presenting. So before you create the slides, you have to understand the objective of presentation. So you need to fully comprehend what you're presenting about, and you should be able, so that you will be able to answer any questions given by your audience on that day of presentation. So before that, what you have to do is read multiple times the topic that you have to present about. For example, if you have to present about housing, for example. So you have to read more about housing, do a deep and thorough research about housing. What is housing about? How does it relate to human, and so on. And the next one is understanding the topic presented. After you have read it multiple times, only then you can understand the topic. If you don't understand the topic, then you can maybe ask for aid from people in order for you to understand the topic better, or do more research using research papers or any online information to help you understand your topic better.
Hi everyone, so my name is Ika. Moving on to the next point, before presenting your topic, you have to make sure that your slides are informative and creative. It means that it has to be simple and precise, as well as short and concise. So how do we want to do that is by making sure that we have to avoid wordy stuff on our slides at all costs. Also, you have to make sure that you take out the main key points that you want to deliver to your audience, as well as replacing all those wordy stuff with graphical images and photos which are related to your topic that you will be presenting. So why is this important is that so your audience won't read what is written on your slide. Instead, they'll focus to listen to what you're going to talk about. And also it can pivot your audience attention from reading what has been written on the slides to listen to what you are currently conveying the message. And by putting on more images, you are in charge to deliver the message. And because the slides, they don't do the talking, you do the talking.
Okay, so now we move on to during presentation. So during presentation, your body language is very important. So your smile, your eye contact with the audience, and hand gestures are very important. So you have to use your hands if you don't have any tools to direct your viewers or audience to the slide so that they can know, for example, the data or graphics that you have on the slide, so you can use your hand. Or if you were to explain something, you have to use your hands more. Okay. So your smile and eye contact with audience is very important so that they will feel more connected to you. And then do not focus too much on the computer to read the points. This is true so that it doesn't distract you from distract your flow of thoughts. So if you were to talk about something and suddenly you have to move and read there, and then it will definitely disrupt your flow of thoughts because you're just like, you just shocked like that because you don't know what comes after. And then avoid looking at your paper, notes, or handphones to explain something. In order for you to be able to do this one, you have to practice multiple times before you come to class and present. And you have to have full comprehension of what you're presenting about on that day. You surely can have a little presenter's notes on the size of your palm, but avoid looking too much at it, as it will lose the audience confidence on you about your knowledge of the topic you're presenting on that day.
Next, during presentation, what is the most important thing that we all need to have before presenting something? A voice. We need to have a voice, or otherwise people won't be listening to you. So what you can do is you have to make sure that you're not mumbling when you are presenting. Let's say if I don't see like this, I'll be like, are you gonna listen to me? You won't be listening to me because I was mumbling and I do not project my voice so that you can hear me clearly. So two things that are very important for us to do is that we have to project our voice so that our lecturers, Dr. Kumar, can assess and give us good marks, and also our friends can know our response and understand it better. Because presenting is not about you understand the topic, but also on how you're going to make sure that your audience understand what you're going to present and what you are talking about. Next, avoid mumbling. And the third point, I believe that most of us, including myself, we have the tendency to do this like most of the time when we do the presentations, which is like when you say something, let's say, Assalamualaikum everyone. So I'm going to present this one topic. See, you keep on repeating but then the part, your audience will get anything by listening to you saying and So what you can do is maybe you can like keep your mouth shut for a while and think what you're going to say next. It doesn't mean that you have to stop talking. No, do not stop talking during presentation. But what you can do is pause for a while and think what you want to say next, so that you will try to minimize the usage of and during the presentation time.
Okay, so during presentation, your content is also very important in order for you to attract the crowd. So if your content doesn't have any introduction, the slide doesn't have any introduction, a good content and also conclusion, then the audience will be very confused as to where does it start, as to where does it start to build up the presentation, and then where does it end. So a good slide should have introduction, and content, and also conclusion, so that the audience will be clear of your presentation that day. And then tell the crowd briefly on what you will be presenting. So before starting your presentation, you should always tell the crowd of what are you presenting about today. And also you must have signal posts for every movement or changes in your presentation. For example, if I were to change or pass the floor to my friend, then I will have to say, now I will pass the floor to my friend. She will be presenting about what and so on. So that audience will not be like, where is this? Because audience tend to be not focused at certain points of your presentation. So if they were to lose focus at one point, and then they will not then be very confused as you move on to another point. And then make a conclusion before you pass the floor to your friend.
So last but not least, for the conclusion part, let's be honest here. Who actually feels scared when your friends were to ask questions to you after you present something? Yes, we all do. We all have that feeling that we actually feel scared to ask them, do you have any questions to us? And also, we have that scary moment when we are pointed to answer the questions, right? But that's what makes you a different presenter. You have to ask people whether, you have to have the guts to ask people whether they have questions or not about your presentation. And it means something when they have something to ask you, because it shows that they actually listen to what you're talking about and they are curious to know more about what you are elaborating. Also, do not feel scared to answer your friend's question, because you know your topic better than everyone else. You do the research more than anyone else in the class, so you know the best answer that you can give to your friend. So do not feel scared, just share what you know, and there's no such thing as I don't know. Because you can always opt for other types of answering, like, okay, you should give us like 2 minutes so that I can recheck whether my answer is correct or not. So do not just like, I'm so sorry, I don't know. It just shows that you're not making an effort to answer your friend's question when she is actually making an effort to ask you a question. So try to give your best answer. As I said before, even though you don't know the answer, you have to make sure that you give you satisfy your friends so that they feel appreciated for asking